He'll paint your noose like an old man. He's got you thinking about your death and you are frightened.
To everyone, I'm Ada from PoisonedRock, and today we have a really special guest, Alex Skolnick from Testament. Hi Alex, first of all, how are you?
Hi, ciao. I'm good.
Nice to hear.
Good. Bueno.
Nice
how
to
are
hear
you?
I'm fine,
Me too.
I'm fine. I want to go straight with the first questions, but of course I don't want to ask who are Testament, speak about Testament, because everyone knows Testament, but I want to ask you, who are Testament today?
Who are Testament today?
Yes.
So, Testament is a San Francisco Bay Area heavy metal band.
Yeah.
That came up after Metallica and Anthrax and Megadeth, and has been through different phases.
Yes, we will go through that.
Yeah, had a low profile, for a lower profile,
higher profile.
And then in recent years, a much bigger profile.
Yes.
And
so
he is having a very good late career period.
Yeah. Yes. So going to the beam, just starting from the beginning. Legacy. We have Steve Susan, you, Eric Peterson, Craig Christian, and Mike Ronchette. What about this formation that we could say it was the beginning of Testament?
Yes. Well, Eric Peterson formed the band. He deserves all the credit for first getting it together. And I heard about the band.
Yeah.
Because they were opening for Slayer and Megadeth and Exodus when those were new bands still.
A new band.
Yeah, like Slayer.
Like the beginning,
Slayer had their first record out, but they had only played in the Bay Area a few times. And they were still playing small clubs. They weren't
the small band.
It wasn't now, you know.
Of course,
playing
of course.
Arena.
Yeah, of course.
So Testament was one of those bands that would open for them.
That's amazing.
And I would hear about them. I was still in school.
But
friends of mine, but friends of mine would go, and I hadn't heard them yet, but I kept hearing about them.
Yeah.
And then I did see them one time. I think it was with Exodus.
Yeah.
And they were still called, the band was still called Legacy at the time.
Yeah.
But it was the same. It was what would become Testament. And then and then only a few months after first hearing about him, I heard that they were looking for a guitarist.
And then you showed up.
I showed up. Yeah.
Yes, that's amazing. So in 1987 was released Legacy, the first album. How was the composition back then? I mean, the first album that opened for the Testament, the thrash metal doors, we can say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I think there's a combination of different types of songs on the album, right? So there's the earliest songs where you can really hear there's more of like a Slayer, Motorhead,
that's
influence.
amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah, it was like really fast.
Yeah,
almost like garage,
like speed trash.
Yeah, like a garage rock, but heavier, but metal, right?
Yeah. It was just like starting to having the sound of trash. It was starting.
Yes, yeah, and those are songs like Raging Waters, Curse of the Legions of Death, and so on. And so then when I joined the band, I was listening more to, Ozzy. Dio.
Heavy metal. Yeah, the classic heavy
Power metal. That's where I was coming from. Yeah.
Yes.
So a lot of my ideas, they liked them, but they were too slow.
So they wanted to go faster. You have to just adapt.
So like a song, like for example, "Apocalyptic City" is a song. I came up with the riff, but I was thinking of something more like "Holy Diver" by Dio. And they said, "Oh, you have to speed it up." So it became
more faster and heavier.
Yes.
You can say,
Yes, and that's how a lot of those songs were. So you can hear the difference with like songs that have a lot of harmony.
Yeah.
Burn Offerings was the first song that I brought in. Alone in the Dark. Apocalyptic City, and all of those were like much slower.
Because there was your sound.
Yeah. It's like
your sound.
Yes,
and what about in 1988, New Order was released, and we can say that the sound was a little bit changed because the press has this idea that I'm not. I don't like too much Metallica. I wanted to just say that in the first beginning. They say that you were like similar to them, so New Order was like a little bit take you far from the sound of Metallica. Do you agree with what the press said, or do you think it just was like just speaking, just voices, rumors?
I think sometimes I agreed with the press, which
but you were bad.
Which I didn't want. I didn't want to, but there were times where I thought because I always wanted to be different.
Yeah, of course.
So it's like in the beginning, I really had to push for there to be more harmony and melody.
Yeah.
And I wasn't trying to be commercial. I just thought this would make it different.
Yeah, the difference, of course.
And sometimes, sometimes the press, sometimes I wouldn't agree. Sometimes I thought they were dismissing it because it was interesting. But there were times where they pointed out, oh, this sounds like another song, and I had said the same thing. I'm like, guys,
things that the press say.
This sound,
but
it got, I do think the writing on the New Order, we really found a good writing chemistry. I don't think it was recorded very well. I think we didn't know much about music production.
Yeah, it was the beginning of the trash. Of everything. It's not like now with the digital.
And then there's some musicians just have a good ear for production. I think like Vinnie Paul, with Pantera. Right. He just had a really good vision, and he knew who to get
in that production.
Up record. Terry Date. Lars Ulrich. It's interesting. It's often drummers that have these visions. It's weird, even though those are very different types of drummers. But Lars, early on, he fired engineers, fired producers. He said, "No, not working. Yeah, sometimes people thought he was crazy, but
sometimes it worked.
You get it. Yeah, and we didn't have anybody like that. We really didn't know what we were looking, and it's also the music was so it was so new at that time.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you were at the beginning of the thrash metal era, so everything was new at the beginning. Yes, but with practice, what you preach, practice what you preach. You won the platinum record. I mean, that was huge. How did you feel about having a platinum record?
I don't know if it was platinum. We never got platinum records.
Okay.
But it was definitely
a huge product.
It was a well-received record.
Yeah.
And it was great to get the the recognition. I thought on that one we did start finding a sound that was different.
So then starting the sound to be Testament sound, you can say.
Yes, and I think it was also better recorded than the previous one.
Yes. And of course, I think with the following album, Souls of Black, we can say that Testament have completely taken different roads of the thrash. I mean, they have their own sound, so they in the thrash metal. So what about Souls of Black?
Yeah, Souls of Black. I think also I think that it got better. I think each production got better. Except Souls of Black, I remember it was such there was pressure to do the record very fast.
So it was like rushed.
We didn't have enough time, I think, to really sit with it. So there's some great music on there, but I think it would have been better
if we had like time.
If we had 6 more months. Just to stop, listen to it.
Yeah, so arranged better.
That was just a time period. Things were moving really fast. And you were expected to put out a record a year, which now is crazy. I mean, now more bands take their time to do records.
Years.
Sometimes it takes too long, like
sometimes
Metallica,
even 5 years.
Yeah, 5 to 7 years. Maybe that's a bit much.
It's too much. Too much.
That's too much. But like 3 is good.
Yes, just to think the idea, develop the idea, the composition, the recording, the studio session, everything, the rehearsal. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, especially if you have you do a lot of touring.
Yeah, of course.
You tour for a year to a year and a half. Then you take some time off. Then you can. Start thinking about another record.
But then you left twice the band.
And then at that time,
you return. We can say that you return definitively with Brotherhood of Snake. But in this period, you come back with for the Thrash of the Titans, not for the benefit of both Chucks, and return for the formation of Damnation. But in the meantime, you did other projects like Alex Skolnick Trio and the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. What about these two projects?
Yeah, well, I after Testament, I didn't want to be stuck. Just being the ex-guitarist of Testament. I was very proud of my work, but I know people try to put you in a category, and they say,
of course. You are the
That's all you are.
Yeah.
And I've always been very open as a musician, and I don't need to just play thrash metal. I don't need to just play with thrash metal musicians.
Of course,
So
this is
so I moved. I moved far away. I moved away from the whole scene. I moved to the East Coast, New York.
Yeah, New York. Yeah.
And I met many different musicians. I studied music. I got a degree in music.
Oh, wow.
And from the university. I just really wanted to experience music at that level, which is what I might have done had I not joined a band.
Yeah.
I might have gone on to study. I always thought I might go on to study music at a university, and I wanted to do. So I did that, and at the university, I met my drummer from Alex Skolnick Trio, Matt Zabrowski, who I still play with today. And I met some of maybe other musicians that you might not have heard of, but who I've worked with on gigs and as a sideman. And during that time, I got a call from the Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
That's amazing. It's a huge project. A lot of huge musicians play there.
Yeah. And they were, it was just starting to become huge.
Yeah, it was like just like the first period, you can say. They were starting. Yes, because now it's a huge project in Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Yes.
So I was there from the time it was playing small theaters.
Yeah. Oh. Now they are.
But it split into two. So the very first tour happened, and it was just one band. And then they wanted, because it was a holiday show, they wanted to have one band on the West Coast and then one band on the East Coast, and they could both play at the same time during the same time period. So
not like now with a lot of musicians on the stage, just two bands.
Yeah, so I got put into the East Coast band and ended up, within a few years, it was playing big venues like Madison Square Garden.
It was starting to growing up, this project.
Yeah, we were on television.
So I know about this for a long time.
Yeah, so it was very interesting for me because Testament was always an underground band.
Yeah.
Like the biggest audiences we played for were supporting legendary acts. We supported Judas Priest, and Iron Maiden, and Black Sabbath with Dio.
Oh wow, that's amazing!
At one point.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but that was we never.
I'd never
been
supporting
but
like Sabbath and Dio. Yeah, the amazing gigs or something like that.
Amazing. Yeah, it was amazing. But I'd never been sort of in the headlining act.
Really?
So it was Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
It was like...
it was the headlining act. So I really got to... And it was all like some of the top crew people.
Yeah.
So like the same people who did the fire. Yeah, because there's a lot of fire.
Yes.
They did the fire for Kiss.
Yes. I mean, it was
Britney
huge.
Spears. Yeah.
I mean, like a mix on genre because it's.
But the crew people don't care about genre, right?
No.
They go from one gig to another.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's their job, of course.
The lights, we had like the same light.
Yeah.
People that would do lights for the Lady Gaga.
Oh, that's amazing.
But it was. Because it was like top level.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was really interesting to.
Yes, I always wanted to see one concert, one opera. I don't know what to say because it's huge.
Yeah, it's a concert.
Yeah, it's amazing. And
I did it till 2009.
Oh, so
almost 2000. So I haven't done it. Since then. It got to be too much. It got to be exhausting.
Yeah,
and by that time, Testament was getting very busy again.
Okay.
And also, my trio was getting busy. We were starting to tour. So I had so much going on, and the Trans-Siberian Orchestra shows were just exhausting. Because sometimes there would be 2 shows in a day.
2 shows in a day? Oh my God!
On a weekend, on a weekend we would play at 3 o'clock. Because they did it like a holiday show. So I call it a matinee. So you'd play.
Oh my God! You will arrive the night like that, basically.
Yeah, and then you'd play another show at night all over again.
Oh my God!
And it was just, and then you do the whole thing the next day, and it just, it got exhausting. So
oh my God!
I had fun doing it for a while, but then I need that energy to focus on the rest of my career.
Yeah, of course. And if you have to, for example, to describe the journey of Testament from the beginning till now in few words, how will you describe it?
It's definitely like an odyssey.
The journey of Ulysses, we can say.
The journey of Ulysses, exactly.
Okay.
Homer.
Yeah.
Homer's odd.
But of course,
a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
A lot of lessons. So there was the first period that until the early '90s.
Yeah.
And then I was away from it for a long time.
Yeah.
Until about 2005, and then around that time, they were thinking of ending the band. I mean, they just
ending the band.
Yeah. They
such a huge weight.
Because it was just playing clubs, like the same clubs we started in.
Yeah, so it was like coming back to the beginning.
Yeah, and it was not only underground, but in Europe, that's not true. It was in, they would place, the festivals were starting to happen in Europe.
Because I remember that I saw you at the festival in 2008 in Italy.
Yeah, so I was back by that point.
Yeah, yes,
but
because I have a picture of you. I remember. Yeah, I was making pictures then. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Well, even before then, when the band was playing, they would sometimes do, big like metal festivals in Europe, but in the States, it was very, like small clubs. And I think it had gotten very difficult, and then Chuck had his illness. And
yes.
Wasn't sure he wanted to do it. So it was really getting the original band back together was really sort of a way to go out in style, right? It was like a last hurrah, but it felt really good to play together. We all enjoyed it, and offers kept coming in.
Of course,
to play more. We thought,
come back in Testament will bring more offers.
Yeah, suddenly, they want us to go to Japan. Okay, well,
just go to Japan.
Yeah, they want us to. Okay, we'll do that, and then I think the big one was the Metal Masters tour, which was Judas Priest, Heaven and Hell.
Heaven and Hell. Dio. Oh my God.
Yeah. Motorhead.
Could he rest in peace as well.
And they needed a fourth band. And then they said, if you guys have an album out, you could do. So then, okay, we're back. We have to do an album.
Yeah, oh my God! That gig is supposed to be amazing. It should be. Was amazing. All this.
Oh yeah, it was amazing. But that really launched like the full resurrection.
Resurrection of the band. Yeah. Speaking about the live performances, one of the most famous, but we are going back to the past, one of the most famous was Clash of Titans. What did you remember about that?
Oh yeah, well it was it was an exciting period. It was all over Europe.
Yeah.
Everybody, it was pretty crazy. I remember it was very crazy off stage because a lot of the bands, not like they are now. Now
it's more
Tom from Slayer, right? He just wanted to retire, and he's this quiet, easygoing person. But back then, he
was crazy, completely mad.
Wild, yeah.
Yeah,
there was a lot of wildness on.
Oh my! But that's supposed to be amazing. Even I think the crowd, the people, the fans were.
There's also that.
Even more crazier than now.
Yeah, that type of music, it hadn't really played in arenas at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess. Metallica was big.
Yeah.
But I don't think they had done the Black album yet, but they were already starting to
to
become more accepted, and it wasn't really, they weren't really like part of thrash so much anymore.
Not like you and the other band from the Bay Area.
Yeah, and then the bands they would take out to support them, it was groups like Faith No More, The Cult, Danzig.
Yeah. They were like, they changed their, like we can say, their path. They just go to another path. They take another path.
They have a different path. Yeah, exactly. And it worked for them, too. I think it was good. They expanded. And, but the Clash of the Titans tour was the first time you had all these bands, all very high energy.
Yeah.
I spoke
with David Aveleson about that.
Oh, yeah. Nobody with a radio song at that point. Yeah, we didn't have like Sirius XM radio. And those songs, nobody was on the radio. It was just all fast, high energy, but playing arenas in Europe.
That's amazing.
And none of those, even bigger bands like Slayer at that point, wouldn't play arenas, but you put that whole package together and it became an arena. Yeah, so it was very powerful.
Oh my God. And for all, I mean, you toured like a lot, but for all the bands that you toured with and that maybe you saw, there is some band or some memories of all touring on all your career that you remind mostly?
Is there... You mean just touring memories?
Yes, touring memories of band that you had fun together. Just some good memory of the past in touring.
I guess more recently.
Yeah,
recently. Yeah, Lamb of God. Yeah, it was a band that sort of came after us.
Yeah.
And they were. But they're not that much different in age, you know. Like I'm very close. I'm the youngest one in Testament, but I'm pretty close in age to those guys. And but they were a band that came later, and I think helped re-energize the whole scene. I mean, I think it was partly helped when Testament had its resurrection. That groups like Lamb of God were fans of Testament.
Yes, of course. Testament have been influences for a lot of bands, but of course,
so I have some good memories touring with them. Randy's a good friend, and we both like photography and writing. And also the last Slayer tour.
Last Slayer tour,
2018.
Because
it was Slayer, Anthrax, Lamb of God.
Yeah.
That was just really fun because I felt like I don't know, everybody's experience, everybody's
that was amazing.
Mature,
but
everybody's like appreciative. Everybody, we appreciate what we have, but the whole like crazy wildness, wasn't there. Yes, I mean, sure, some of us like to have a few drinks, but it's not.
It's normal. Come on, it's always a party.
Nobody got arrested. Nobody got put in the police station. Nobody went to the hospital.
No, this is good at the end, right? No,
some of those earlier tours, involved like police and hospitals.
I mean, this means being this is wilderness. This means being wild sometimes.
Yes. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you something that is, of course, speaking of Chuck Billy. Chuck Billy is like a legend in thrash metal world, and of course, you play together. I wanted just to ask you how is working with him, your relationship with him, and if you have some funny memories with him.
Chuck's come a long way. I think the first couple of years he sort of had to find himself in the music. He hadn't really been a thrasher before. He'd been in like heavy rock bands, one more kind of more glam band.
Yeah, they're good.
Or like
you have an idea about that. That's good to know.
Yeah, a lot of fashion. I mean, even like there's those old pictures of Pantera where
they
they
were
have
big
the
glam for
scarves.
yes.
Yeah, so Chuck at one point was in a band like that a
Oh.
long time ago. But
That's
no, I think he
amazing.
really pulled it together, and I think especially in just in the resurrection period,
Yeah,
like he really sort of got in touch with who he is.
yes,
Like I think a song like Native Blood, that's a
yeah,
testament song where he really talks about his heritage and like
yes,
express.
heritage, yes,
I think he was became like much more comfortable with that
yes.
and
That's
expressing that.
amazing. That's
And
amazing.
yeah, there was a funny memory fairly recent, the last few years, because he's been helping with a lot of the management and the merchandise.
Yes,
Like
yes,
he's more involved on the business side of things. And there was
yeah.
one show where he had to go to the bank because we sold a bunch of T-shirts, and they had to make a deposit.
Yeah, sure.
And he was taken to the bank by I guess a kid who worked for the venue,
When you,
and the kid got pulled over, and I forget what he had a problem with the license, and I think he might have had like some weed. The kid.
the kid, oh my God, poor
Yeah.
kid.
And the kid had to say to the cops that he's not a drug dealer. The cop thought he was a drug dealer.
No.
And he's in a car with Chuck, who's got like bags of money and tattoos. Just looks like this perfect drug dealer.
But of course, this is a lot. The physical aspects what all the time. This is a cliche. What people think about people with tattoos, long hair.
Yes.
If you have something strange, they think you are an outlaw. And maybe sometimes in the past, people who are outlaw. So
at least now, we're at a point where like Testament has been around so long.
Yeah, that
any of you that
pulled over by a road,
if you get pulled over by police, the chance that the cop is younger,
they know you
and probably knows who Testament is.
Sure, of course. If you go to the bank and so you are checking me, I just recognize you. I don't say, "Oh my God, this is a drug."
Yeah, that's what it was. I mean, he didn't recognize Chuck Billy, but as soon as they said, "Oh, Testament," I know.
they know it.
Practice what you preach, right?
And speaking now about inspiration, who are the inspiration of Testament? I mean, the musical influences of Testament.
I mean, it depends. I mean, I think everybody, Eric's still the founder of the band.
Yeah.
And he sort of sets the tone on each record. And he is, he's got another side, which is more on the black metal side.
Black metal side, really? Wow.
Black metal. Oh, yeah.
I have an idea.
Even has a black metal project. Really? Yeah, Dragon Lord.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
This is a news, even for me. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So he brings in a lot of ideas.
And this brings some influences in, it's black metal and music, live, that brings some influences into the sound of Testament.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, but that's cool. That's cool.
Especially on the new stuff. There's even a new song where he sings a little bit, and it's very black, called Night of the Witch. Yeah.
Night of the Witch. That's amazing. That's interesting because...
he brings that side of things. I'm outside of Testament. I do a lot of instrumental music and a lot of...
You also know that you were influenced by Satriani.
Yes, I'd studied with Satriani.
And I was there. That experience.
That was amazing.
He's one of the biggest guitarists in the world.
Yeah, he wasn't yet. Nobody, he wasn't known outside of San Francisco at that time. But Yeah, he was the first serious musician
Yeah.
I studied with, and it made me want to be a serious musician too.
Yes, but
So big influence.
There are also others guitarists that inspired you.
Oh, many, yeah.
Like
Somebody, well, Eddie Van Halen is one of my favorite musicians of all time. Yeah, Randy Rhoads. Just people who brought a different flavor.
Yes.
To metal, but also later on, I got much more into sort of jazz rock guitarists.
Yes, of course, just changing. I mean,
John Scofield is a great jazz guitarist. And there's a lot of music that doesn't have guitar. Stuff like Weather Report, Chick Corea with Return to Forever.
I mean, you can say just changing sound completely.
Yeah, completely. But sometimes that can find its way into the music a little bit.
But also, like if you helps to bring some also new ideas.
So Alan Holdsworth is another one, and but like that, a lot of the like progressive rock from the 70s, like that's Alan Holdsworth had played with like UK and Bill Bruford, and
it's amazing,
like and Rush. The music that they listened to, like I like a lot of that same music.
But if you have to pick up 5 albums that influenced Alex in all your life since you were a kid till today, for example,
5 albums.
5 albums, artists, songs, just up to you. You can also make the mix.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. But certainly the Van Halen debut album. Pink Floyd, The Wall.
Pink Floyd, huge.
Oh yeah, as you mentioned, Pink Floyd is always a big influence.
Yes.
Gosh.
There are many. You can say even artists.
Something really different. Miles Davis. Just because, and he has so many different types of music, just as one artist, and was always evolving and changing.
Yeah, that's important because music is about experimentation, not just being stuck in
so many of my favorite musicians, Chick Corea, John McLaughlin, and Herbie Hancock. You can go on and on. They all played with Miles Davis.
Yeah. I mean, you said more than 5.
Yeah,
exactly. But speaking about the today thrash, because today we are like living a new wave of thrash metal, because there are all these new thrash metal band coming out, just young guys that they take inspiration from the Bay Area. What do you think about this? There's some band in your opinion that maybe you remind mostly because they are not better than another one, but just they have maybe some steps or something more.
There's very few. I think it's very tough for bands to capture that sound.
Yeah.
Unless they were there. And it requires like a lot of dedication.
Yeah.
I'm sure more could do it, but not that many really capture it. It's a very sad story, but the singer who passed away, Riley from the band Power Trip, I thought that was one example where they really got it, and it really feels like it. Yeah.
Yes. And what about the thrash area? I mean, I always say by the thrash area musician, Forbidden, Violence, all these bands seems like a family, something like that. It's real that in that thrash Bay Area is like a different place. It seems like a different world from the other parts of the world where there is like, for example, death metal. It's like a special world, a special place in the world. It
it's interesting when it started in this. It was. I don't think anybody like predicted it. It just it felt like a very small local movement. Yeah, nobody knew that I could be talking to you in Sicily and you would know all about this. Because it was just so local, and the Bay Area at that time. There was like most of the rock. There was like legendary rock and roll that had come from there. Santana, the Grateful Dead, Power of Power. But in the 80s, there really wasn't much.
So
you know what I mean? It was it was mostly like things you would hear on the radio. But it wasn't that interesting. Stuff you probably wouldn't even. You might know the song.
Yeah, but not the name of the band. Yeah.
Yes, a lot of that. Very kind of commercial, and then the thrash bands. It was just a very new thing, and it felt completely different.
Yeah, of
and
course.
It just felt like a very local, like our own, almost private club. Even though anybody could come to the shows, but it was just so removed from most other music scenes.
Yes.
That
it was.
So I think those of us who kept doing music, that are still doing music today, us, Testament, Death Angel.
Death Angel, I spoke with Ted Aguilar last week.
Violence. Even though
Shrunk
half of that band was Machine Head. And now they've reunited. The Violence
they are back.
Is getting back. So it's just that
Exorder, Exorder.
I think we went through that. We were just like this local group of musicians
like
that
family,
didn't fit anywhere else.
Yes.
And it became a thing. So we're all. I think we definitely have this bond because of that.
Yes, that's amazing. And just being like we can say the last questions is about the last album, Titans of Creation. What about this last album? The topics, the composition, the songwriting.
Well, we're in a different period now where
I know we know very well.
The way we write is different. Because I'm on the East Coast, they're on the West Coast. So for this album, I ended up with 2 songs that the guys liked a lot. That just pretty much stayed the way they were. They didn't change. Called Code of Hammurabi. And the other one is called Symptoms.
Symptoms.
And then some of the other songs, they all have different topics, but Chuck could tell you more about some songs. Eric could tell you more about others.
Yeah, of course. But
there's a lot of variety there.
In all these years, your way of playing, like you say at the beginning of the interview, like in a Dio way, slowly, and it remains, or it changed, it become more speed. Or you always kept this way of playing like Ronnie James Dio?
Repeat the question one more time.
I would say that at the beginning of the interview, you said that when you joined Testament, your way of playing was more like the music of
like Dio or
Ozzy.
Yes. Yeah, more slower.
Ozzy. It remains like that today?
No, not as much. I mean, now I know how to. Having played for years with the band.
Yeah, sure, of course.
It's very different. Now I know. I can imagine being on stage with the band. And, and I when I come up with, when I present music, I make sure that it fits with.
Yes, of course.
How the band,
so many years,
the sound of the band. Yes.
After so many years and experience with different projects, styles, and music, of course, it all changed. And future plans about Testament. What is going on the future? I just read some news about some festival in Europe. It's possible.
It's possible, yeah. I know that
called maybe Summer Breeze.
Yeah, I saw that announced. So
I will be there.
We're just sort of, seeing what happens. With everything got shut down. We were supposed to have a whole cycle of touring.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll tour some more. Yeah. But we have to wait. So.
Yeah, right now, yes. So I hope to see
but
you
hopefully,
then.
I did see those festivals booked.
Yes,
so
yes. I saw that the news today of Testament confirmed that Summer Breeze. I was like,
I saw Summer Breeze. I saw another one in Europe, and then there's another one in the United States.
Yeah.
That everybody's at. Like
that's
Metallica, Gojira, Mastodon, Anthrax. I think Metallica's headlining a few of the nights.
Yeah.
Aftershock Festival. So.
Yeah, so that's amazing. And just a message, you can say messages to Testament fans and your fans, because of course everyone knows Alex Skolnick. So just a message to your fans and that's it.
Okay. Well, we are nothing without the fans. We can. So a big grazie to all fans in Italia and everywhere else
in the world. We can say.
We love to create music, but without the ears to listen to the music, there is no music. So
you are right. So thank you so much, Alex, for the interview. It was really an honor speaking to you. Then just making picture, because I was we speaking more than 10 years ago. So it was really an honor to meet you and have this interview. Thank you so much.
I'm glad we could make it happen.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of the day, and always do your music, because Testament are like we can say a pillar in the thrash metal scene.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
To the preacher during the sermon, he's a saint to the fool